All right, hello everybody. I'm back on again because we still have some strong to severe storms out there, and we actually have one that's really intense, and I wanted to hop back on to give everybody an update on it. That's going to be the storm that you see right now making its way into parts of Uvalde. That's going to be a very intense storm headed into Uvalde. We have very large hail with it. Notice that we're picking up on our hail tracker anywhere up to even tennis ball size hail, maybe even some baseball size hail, and yes, the winds are very strong associated with this storm to go along with it. Now, I'm pulling up Facebook real quick. I want to be able to answer some of y'all's questions. Right now, no severe alerts for anywhere in Bexar County, but these storms are definitely more intense off towards the Rio Grande and down towards parts of the hill country. So, here's a look at that one storm that I was talking about. Again, very intense, large hail associated with this storm. We have been watching this one real close here. The size, you see billiard ball, hen egg, see billiard ball, basically golf ball size hail there. As I click around, I'm trying to find the largest one. It looks like the largest one is going to be that that billiard ball or pretty much even golf ball size hail. And that again is passing very close to Uvalde. And it's going to continue to make its way off towards the north end, or really east-northeast, at a pretty good pace there, about 35 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and bring back up radar. Again, these have been some really strong storms tonight. We've had some strong winds with them as well. Excuse me. You see some of those stronger winds on the leading edge of that. That's going through the Pryor all the way up the Highway 83 corridor towards Uvalde. So some of this hail is going to also be blown. Will it make it to Bexar County? Catherine's wanting to know. The answer is probably yes. I'm expecting these storms to move through probably within the next maybe hour, 2 hours. An hour to really hour 30 minutes, I'd say. Castroville, are we safe now? Coco wants to know. The answer is not exactly. This next round of storms is going to move through your area too. You're going to see another round here from these storms closer on towards Uvalde. So we're watching these storms closely as they start to move through. Now notice that this isn't the only hail core we have. We also have another one up here closer to Bandera, really in Utopia, just south of Bandera County there. And in Bandera County itself, though, this is going to continue to move off to the northeast. Thankfully, though, that is a much smaller hail core. We're talking about nickel size, really, maybe quarter size in a very tiny area of that. But that hail core has been shrinking. We also have one that's closer to Kerrville, between Kerrville and Comfort. Much smaller hail. We're talking pea-size hail. So not too much of an issue there. The big storm right now, the one down towards Uvalde, where we have really strong winds and also the larger hail possible. We also have a little hail core here just across the border in Mexico. We're going to watch that storm as it comes across. But the big story right now is going to be this storm in parts of Zavala County and stretching into parts of Uvalde County. So we're watching that storm very close. Let's see here. Julia's asking about Bandera. And you're talking about Bandera County. If you're talking about Bandera County, yeah, we do have a pretty good storm up there, but not seeing anything too serious with that storm. Remember, we do have that small hail core, but it's nothing too serious with that. We're going to continue to watch it closely. I want to go ahead and actually slice this storm that's down towards Uvalde and give you a 3D look at it, because I'm telling you, this is a really intense storm down here. I'd love to take a deeper look at how big this storm is. So you see it's growing all the way up to, it looks like 40 to even 50,000 feet in height. That lets us know that you can see the lofted hail core there. We definitely have that hail north of the Pryor. Definitely a big issue. We're going to continue to watch that close. Are tornadoes possible? Diana, the answer is we do have tornadoes possible with some of these storms. We have the tornado watch until 5 a.m. There are no tornado warnings right now. That's the good news. But, you know, we are going to have that possibility for some tornadoes later on tonight. So we're going to have to just watch these storms real close because of that. That's why I'm in here tonight. Today's actually my day off. But, of course, I'm here because I want to make sure everyone stays up to date and safe. So I volunteered to come in to kind of help out Bill with the severe weather on the digital side of things while he covered everything on TV. So we have Uvalde. Again, you're in that severe thunderstorm warning. And honestly, it looks like you're actually not in a severe thunderstorm warning from Uvalde to Sabinal. Guys, that's going to be a mistake. I'm telling you, from Uvalde to Sabinal, that's an intense thunderstorm. That you're under a severe thunderstorm warning in my standards. You've got a really strong winds headed in, and then you also have hail. They may have tried to make that polygon to the south kind of squeeze in and cover that, but I'm willing to bet that they end up extending this polygon out a little bit more to cover more of this area, just because of the way the hail core is. So expect that area from Uvalde along Highway 90 up to Sabinal. Expect to be under a severe thunderstorm warning, so you should. You should be under one. See some people saying thank you, no problem. Is Atkins going to get anything? It's possible a little bit later on tonight. Sabinal here. Kristen, I'm glad you're here. Keep an eye on this storm. Trust me. That's a pretty serious hail core. Definitely been one of the more serious ones tonight. It has gone down. I'll tell you that, Kristen. It's weakened, that hail core, within the last about 5 minutes. I hope that continues because, again, that's been a really intense one. See it grow. It got really intense. That's about its peak right there. Right at that, like, four corners right there, northwest of the Pryor. And then, as we've moved throughout the last 5, actually, you know what? That's the peak. That's a big hail core. And then it's kind of weakened over the last 5 minutes, and that latest scan actually just came in. Looks like it's continuing to weaken as it moves towards Uvalde, but still within that severe parameter, definitely, as it continues to move kind of east. Let's see here. Thank you from Dallas, no problem. Let's see here. I don't see anything else coming in. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's take another look at these storms. We have this severe thunderstorm warning as well, closer on to Bandera. I talked about it just a moment ago. You know, we had a severe thunderstorm warning in Kerrville. It's over. No more severe warning in Kerrville, and I'm glad to see that. The less severe warnings that we have, the happier I am. So trying to see if there's anything else from the National Weather Service coming in. I'm not seeing anything right now. At what time is all this bad weather going to end? Diana, some weather models have this continuing until 5 a.m. I'm not sure if this is going to last until 5 a.m. I don't think so. I think the atmosphere is really getting worked over. All the energy is really getting kind of taken out. But I could see this lasting until 2 a.m. Could last until 2 a.m. So we're going to be sticking around here. I'm going to be here, don't worry. Maybe a little tired by then, but I'm still going to be working hard to keep everybody updated. This is going to continue again through the area, and it's going to be approaching San Antonio here as we hit throughout the next, I would say, hour and a half. Definitely something we're going to watch close. So, Helotes, Stephanie, yes, we do have more thunderstorm activity possible for Helotes later on tonight. These storms that are to our west could impact us in about an hour and a half here in San Antonio. I see people asking about it. Of course, it's a little delayed on the Facebook Live, so you're probably just now hearing it, and I'm just saying it again, reiterating. When will it be okay to get food before that storm gets to... I think it's okay to get food before that storm gets to the San Antonio area. Ernest, yes. Go for it, man. You got plenty of time. You got an hour to hour and a half. Run out there, go get your food, and you'll even have enough time to sit down, eat it, head back, as long as they cook pretty quick. But, you know, restaurants, I'm sure, aren't too busy this late at night, so you should be able to get your food and get home. Is San Antonio over with it or not? Melissa, the answer is no. We got another round of storms coming our way, probably in about an hour to an hour and a half. Asking about China Grove, as mentioned, Bexar County, hour and a half. China Grove being further east in Bexar County, further away from the storms, may take more like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Dehannes, yeah, man. Dehannes, you got a really intense thunderstorm earlier on. You had that tornado warning. And another round is headed your way. So strong winds, large hail, all associated with this Uvalde storm, and it is moving east. I see a question about Eagle Pass. Brenda, that's a good question. You know, Eagle Pass had a pretty good storm earlier. You have a few more storms off in your direction. These storms are not as intense as what you had a little bit earlier on. That's the good news, but you still could have a little bit of hail associated with some of those storms. Not really showing up on map, but maybe pea-size hail. So for Uvalde, there's that intense storm that we've been watching so close. Again, very large hail associated with this. Let's get an idea. Baseball-size hail. Let's see how far away that is from downtown Uvalde. That is only 8 miles south of downtown Uvalde. Baseball, wind-driven hail. Not what you want to see. That is going to pass south of Uvalde, but Uvalde is still going to get major hail. Take a look at this. Hen egg size hail, driven by wind, billiard ball size, basically golf ball size. Golf ball, there it is, golf ball size hail. Driven by the wind, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, that's going to do some damage. We're going to get a lot of damage in Uvalde from this storm. I see a question about Gonzales County. Kimberly, nothing in Gonzales County right now. You're fine. No, I don't think that you're going to have any issues out there. I think these storms are going to be collapsing by the time they arrive in Gonzales County. Is there anything more headed to New Braunfels in the time? Yeah, we do have a chance for more storms to New Braunfels. I think they're going to be a lot weaker compared to what happened earlier. And it would be kind of in the next 2 hours. You'd see more showers and storms. But I think they're going to be a lot weaker than what we had earlier. South of D'Hanis, the answer is yeah, another round of storms is headed your way. That's going to be probably in the next 30 minutes to the next hour. Arthur, same thing for you for Castroville. Probably more of an hour to an hour and a half, similar to what Bexar County is expecting. What about Hondo? Probably in the next half of an hour, this storm is going to impact you. Now, the good news is, you know, this hail core may stay south of Hondo. I sure hope it does. They don't need anything else, and honestly, none of us need hail. But hopefully that larger hail core misses to the south of Highway 90 there. Doesn't hit the as-populated areas. I don't want it to hit our friends south of Highway 90. I don't mean to say it like that. I'm just saying hopefully it hits the less populated areas. But I also hope that it doesn't do any damage to wherever you may live here in South Texas. So there's that new warning. Remember how I talked about how Sabinal and Uvalde probably should be also included in that? There it is. I'm happy to see that warning and see that it covers all the way up to Highway 90 and includes them as well. Because remember, that is some really big hail that we're seeing with that storm. So you're now added in that too. This storm continues to shift off to the east. Let's see what the latest saying from the National Weather Service is on this storm. Still saying it's moving east at actually a lot faster pace now. Now 55 miles per hour moving east from Uvalde, about 6 miles away. That's pretty quick. This severe thunderstorm warning is until 1:30 a.m. So for a full hour, this severe thunderstorm warning is in place. And of course, I'm going to stay right here on top of it, keeping you updated on this storm. How about La Costa and Italia? This storm has a while till it gets to you, probably about an hour until it's in those areas. Hopefully it weakens by the time it gets there. The atmosphere depends on how worked over it is. If the atmosphere is too worked over, it'll just collapse kind of as it gets closer and closer to Italia. Let's hope that happens. So a wider look at things. I actually want to look at this severe thunderstorm warning up towards Bandera. Let's take a look at the hail core. Oh man, that storm is collapsing. It looks like this is going to be our last storm of the day, and let's hope it's not some sort of a grand finale. Let's just hope it's just kind of a fall apart. I see a question about Bernie. Bernie's going to get a little storm through there here pretty soon, but I don't think this storm's going to be severe by the time it gets to Bernie. That's going to be this Bandera storm, which the hail core has just collapsed. Watch it as we go through. Just falls apart. That's what we like to see, and I think that's going to continue here as it heads closer to Bernie. Helotes is in the clear from a tornado right now, Julie, but remember, we still have severe possibilities through 5 a.m. So make sure you have a way to be woken up if something comes to your area. What about Kerrville? Nothing in Kerrville right now. No big issues. I say that. Still some thunderstorm activity out there, but nothing severe right now in Kerrville. So we still have the strong storm in Bandera County. Probably have a lot of lightning around the Kerrville area. Heavy rain, just good soaking rain. That's all we have right now, which is all we want. We don't want anything severe. Maverick County seeing a pretty good storm across the border. Let's see how the hail is with that one. Nothing too bad there. Maybe up to a quarter-size hail, which is severe, but it's possible. Jacqueline says, is Hondo going to get hit again? The answer is yes. Yes. Will Hondo get large hail with this one? And the answer is yes. I think so. Now, it's a possibility that the large hail could pass just to your south. It's still going to move kind of like this. But the hail could miss you just to the south, Hondo. I hope it does. You've had enough today. You've had enough. Anything for New Braunfels? The answer is no, Nick. Not right now. How about Atascosa County? These storms are expected to weaken as they get closer to Atascosa. But it is possible. Excuse me, guys. My throat gets a little dry when I've been talking for so long. Asking questions about Eagle Pass. And nothing too bad in Eagle Pass right now. Just a few storms out there, but nothing severe. Man, a lot of lightning with these storms, though. I'll tell you that. Very intense thunder storms making their way through parts of Uvalde and Zavala counties. We also have that storm up towards Bandera County, but again, that has weakened a lot. I'm expecting it to weaken even more here as we head throughout the next 15 to 30 minutes, even though the warning is until 1:30. I'm going to go ahead and check what the National Weather Service is saying. Not seeing anything new from the National Weather Service. They're just kind of working on a few of the warnings and trimming them down. That's kind of what's happened right up here with the Bandera County warning. You may notice that we have a lot of boxes on our screen. Now, here's the thing. Some of these tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, have actually been canceled by the National Weather Service, but they're not leaving our screen. We've had a little bit of an issue with our box tonight where it's keeping a lot of these polygons on the screen even though they've already been canceled. So if it's looked a little bit kind of like a cluster of different boxes and polygons on the screen more than what we need, that's why. But the main storm, the hail associated with this one, that's going to be the main storm right now that we have to worry about. Again, Uvalde, seeing some really intense hail. Let's go ahead and take a look at the size of that hail again. Golf ball moving through Uvalde right now. We've got hen egg. We had golf ball. I know that we saw a report of baseball a little bit earlier, moving across Highway 83, stuff that we don't want to see. What time is it expected to hit in Hondo? You know what? Let's go ahead and do a tracker out on this storm. That way everybody can get a good idea when it's going to hit a certain area. Give me 1 second, guys. Get everything set up. Gotta change the speed of the storm in our system. All right, so here we go. This is the timing. For Batesville Elementary School, it'll be 12:51 when it arrives there. Sabinal, 12:54, so you got about 10 minutes. 1:15 for Hondo, so you got about 30 minutes before it arrives in Hondo. Hondo High School, 1:16, 1:25 for Pearsall, 1:32 for Castroville. So remember what I was saying? It was going to be about an hour to an hour and a half for Bexar County. I still hold true to that. Divine, 1 hour, or 1:38 in the morning rather, and then Luna Middle School, 1:40. Anything beyond that, it's still too early to be able to tell if this storm is going to weaken as it gets close enough to those areas. All right, so no new severe warnings. Weather Chief Bill Taylor, by the way, still in-house. He's right now in the studio giving an update right now on KENS 5. So if you have your TV turned on, you can turn on the CBS affiliate, KENS 5 here in South Texas. You'll see Weather Chief Bill Taylor giving an update at this moment. Any more twisters for San Antonio? That's what Stacy wants to know. The answer is, it's possible. We have that tornado watch until 5 a.m. But I think the atmosphere has been pretty worked over around Bexar County. We kind of saw the storms collapse earlier on as they tried to move through. And I think that the thunderstorms from earlier have really worked over the atmosphere, which is good. We can only hope that that continues to happen where these storms just collapse as they try to get closer to our area. All right. Whew. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. So right now it's 12:45. We have a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30, stretching all the way to Pearsall and Hondo. I see, how about Divine, tornado possibility? Guys, listen, there's a tornado watch in place until 5 a.m. That means that we do have the possibility for a tornado until 5 a.m. Across the region. I mean, I'll bring up the severe watch. You see the tornado watch really all across South Texas, the exception of Goliad, Victoria, B, and Live Oak County, stretching down to Tilden and Cotulla too. Those areas aren't under a tornado watch, but you see everybody else, you're under a tornado watch. So that's going to be until 5 a.m. I've seen a lot of questions about tornado possibility. As long as we're under this tornado watch, yes, we do have that possibility for a tornado or two, especially with some of these storms. See, what's causing these storms? You know, we've had a pretty intense trough sweeping across the United States, and for last weekend, we had a lot of the models calling for the upper level low, an upper level low to develop, where we have a cutoff low rather, and it was going to really spin. And these cutoff lows, I talked about it before, they can cause a lot of wet weather, a lot of shower activity, and also severe storms. I talked about this on, Monday? I think I went into cutoff lows during the 5 o'clock newscast. I did a whole breakout about it. And then on Monday, it's funny because they said, all the models switched and said, well, the low's not going to cut off. We're going to have a trough sweep through instead and not going to have any pieces break off of it. But sure enough, here's the upper level low. We got the severe weather, we got the heavy rain, and it's going to stick around until something comes through and sweeps it out of here. I talked all about it just a few days ago, and it was funny because the weather model switched on us, and now they're back to saying, yep, it's happening. We got to cut off low, and that means a lot of rain for us. We actually picked up, San Antonio picked up 2.5 inches of rain pretty much in 3 hours. We actually picked up more than 2.1 inches in 2 hours. Guess what? That is our average for the month of April, 2.10. We picked up more than that in less than 2 hours, pretty much. So we're going to finish up the month of April above average on rainfall. We were so far behind. We needed the rain, and, well, we got it. Sometimes you get the rain all at once. Heard it a lot when I was growing up. The best way to cure a drought is with a flood. Unfortunately, we don't want that, though. So it looks like my system actually just froze up on me, guys. I'm going to give it a second to see if it'll correct itself for me. Let me see if I can fix this. I see Stacy saying we need the rain, but all the other stuff can go. I completely agree. Tracy says, I heard tornadoes sound like a train. Is that true? You know, they kind of do. You hear the wind really howling, and then you hear the debris getting knocked around. That's what you're hearing. My high school got hit by a tornado when we were all in it. When I was in, I guess I was a junior in high school, we got hit by a tornado. And I remember it. I mean, it does sound a little bit like a train, but I don't know. It's almost like a train in the distance. That's what it sounds like. But I'm sure if it's a big tornado, it sounds like a train right on you. Yeah, I mean, they do sound like a train. Asking questions about, and by the way, guys, no tornado warnings out there. So, I was just answering a question about whether tornadoes really do sound like a train when they're coming at you. Yes. So let me go ahead and turn off lightning because sometimes that can drown out the actual radar data. Still a very intense storm there that just went through La Pryor, moving down the Highway 57 corridor. Let's bring up hail again. Guys, I keep looking at hail, but that's been the big issue with these storms. Oh, man. I love seeing that. The hail core in Uvalde just took a big drop. So that's good. That means that the hail is not as large. That's what I'm getting at there. So it looks like it's weakened a ton, And let's hope that continues to happen as these storms move off to the east. Carly says, I'm scared. Carly, no, don't worry. Don't be scared. Just make sure you have a plan in place to get to your safe spot in your house if a tornado were to form. Poteet has had high winds, no rain yet. Hoping for the rain, but no tornado, please. Yeah, I agree. We need the rain, just no tornadoes. I see Stephanie saying, pretty sure there was a tornado on Hudson in 35 with that last storm. It's possible. We also had some strong wind move through, though. Richard's saying, my son hasn't got home. Are the roads closed? There are a few roads that are having some water issues out there, Richard, and that could be it. Lots of damage in Hondo. It was horrible. Sorry to hear that, Ashley. Yeah, Hondo did take a pretty bad hit there earlier on. Liz saying, I hope your son gets home safe. To Richard. Richard, I agree. I hope your son gets home safe. It's pretty late out there. Morgan replied to John saying around 1:38 for Divine. That is correct. What about Elmendorf? The storms are still pretty far away. These storms could collapse completely before they arrive in Elmendorf, but it could be about an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. Whew. Excuse me, guys. I'm fighting the allergies, just like a lot of other people are dealing with right now. All right, so basically two severe thunderstorm warnings here, two storms that we're watching. We got the one that's located up there towards Bandera, which has just been really not that impressive. It's continued to kind of fall apart as it moves off to the east-northeast, which is good. We want storms to be not impressive. I don't want to be impressed by a thunderstorm. The hail cores have really shrunk down to just a nickel size there. That is going to be approaching Bandera, so if you're in Bandera, don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of penny-sized hail to nickel-sized hail on the roof. The hail core looks like it's trying to get its act together again there along Batesville, off to the north, getting closer on towards Uvalde. Trying to get its act back together, but I imagine it's going to struggle once it gets closer to Divine, where the atmosphere has been a little more worked over by the severe weather, that we had earlier. I see Christy asking, is Del Rio done for the night? Man, I'm sure a lot of people in Del Rio are wondering, is it over? Because y'all have had round after round after round, and it's looking like it is over. These thunderstorms that cross the border in Mexico are falling apart, which is letting us know the atmosphere is exhausted. Kind of like how we're kind of all exhausted from having to deal with the thunderstorms, right? But the atmosphere has kind of lost its energy over in Mexico, where a lot of these storms are initially developed, and it has just it's caused the storms to collapse as they try to form there across the border, which is good. So I think Del Rio's done. I don't think they're going to have to deal with anything else tonight, which is good. We don't want to be dealing with anything else. Charlotte's saying, praying your allergies let up on you. Thank you so much. Is Sabinal going to get any more hail? And it is possible. It is possible. You got some hail, actually. I'm willing to bet you get hail in Sabinal. But the good news is the hail that's up in your way could be a little bit smaller. We're talking about pea to nickel size, maybe a isolated pocket here and there of quarter-size hail. Either way, you don't want it, right? You don't want any hail at all, but you may deal with a little bit of hail in Sabinal, not as big as what you had earlier, though, with that larger hail that made its way through. So not as bad, but you're probably going to see a little bit more hail. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at rainfall totals, because this is something I haven't shown yet tonight. This is rain over the last 24 hours. 3.5 inches there in parts of Bexar County. Nearly 4 inches in northeast parts of Uvalde County. 2 inches in Medina County. this is really good, guys. You know why? That aquifer is so low. We've really needed this rainfall, and this is really going to help to push back the drought in certain spots. Again, we have been so far behind, but we picked up more than 2.5 inches today in San Antonio in the last 24 hours. And that's going to push our April average above average. We're actually going to finish up April above average for rainfall. And, before tonight, we were less than an inch for the month. But obviously that data not yet registering in our system. But I do know that we have picked up nearly 2.5 inches in San Antonio at the airport. And by the time this event's all over, we'll have well over that. So what about the new near the Windcrest area? What can we expect? Well, nothing out there right now. Nice and quiet. The thunderstorms are all well west of your area. And let's hope they collapse before they even arrive to you. That's very possible that they do collapse before they even arrive to Windcrest. So, and when I say collapse, I mean no longer severe. Probably still going to be thunder. Probably still going to be heavy rain. But there's a possibility these could no longer be severe by the time they arrive in Windcrest, and that's what I'm hoping for. Still pretty intense, though, as we look closer on towards the Highway 83 corridor and closer to Hondo. These storms stretching now all the way down there towards Eagle Pass. You see, or really even south of Eagle Pass in the parts of Maverick County. I see Brianna asking, what do we need to expect in Pleasanton? The answer is maybe some really strong storms. I mean, if these storms hold together, they could move through Pleasanton and bring large hail. That'd be in about an hour to an hour and a half, I would say. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at a few things. Checking hail sizes. And I'm going to check the National Weather Service chat too here, see if they're saying anything. Talking about another hail core building just south of Concan, so we're going to watch that close. And again, guys, these storms are moving east about 55 miles per hour, so they're moving pretty quick. What about Blanco, Texas? Norma wants to know. The answer is, yeah, you're going to have some thunderstorm activity here real soon. Nothing severe, just showers and thunderstorms, heavy rain, but nothing severe associated with that there in Blanco, Texas. And this storm, by the way, that's up into parts of Bandera County, I expect it to kind of weaken as it continues to shift east and northeast. The hail core has shrunk more and more, and I'm willing to bet the National Weather Service lets that warning expire here pretty soon. So it's set to expire at 1:30, so maybe in about 30 minutes we'll see that go away. All right, guys, we did just have a tornado warning get issued. This is going to be for Frio and Zavala counties. This is until 1:30 a.m. And let's go ahead and pop up velocity and take a look at that. So there is a little notch out ahead of this main line of stronger winds. That's going to be what the reason why they have issued this tornado warning. Sometimes these lines of straight line winds can get those little notches, and whenever you see that, that could mean that there is a tornado that is moving through. So again, this is for Frio and Zavala County until 1:30 a.m. This storm is moving about 55 miles per hour to the east, so very quick. Again, it's nighttime. Please don't try to go outside, take a photo of this if you're out ahead of this. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this and that area of rotation that is in question. So we're talking about just north of Highway 57 here. This is going to be the spot that they're looking at for the rotation. And this is headed east towards where 57 and I-35 meet. So let me go ahead and drag this over. Let's take a better look. It looks like it'll pass north of Pearsall and the Moore area. This could get pretty close to the Moore area as it continues to shift east. So let me go ahead and bring up a, a timeline for y'all. So on the timeline, it says Frio Town by 1:09 a.m. More by the time we get to about 1:28. So still got about 30 minutes till it gets to More, but it is moving east at a pretty good pace there. So if you know anybody in those areas, you may want to give them a phone call and say, hey, you're in your safe place. You do know you're in a tornado warning, even though it's 1 a.m. You know, some people could be out there sleeping right now. It's important that they wake up and know what's going on in the area. So this is the big storm. Again, that's where the large hail is. That's where we have the tornado warning at the moment. I talked about how this is one of the bigger storms that we've had tonight. That storm in Bandera, really not that much of an issue anymore. It's just continued to kind of collapse. But this storm that's down towards Zavala and Frio counties is definitely the big one. Pearsall, you are included in this tornado warning. It looks like that area of rotation may miss you to the north, but I'd go ahead and get in your safe spot as well, just in case this rotation does tend to trend more to the south and then cause more issues for you. Josie's saying, hope everyone is home safe from the terrible weather. I completely agree. Is there a possibility the tornado will hit Divine? I got family over there. The answer is it's possible. Right now, they're not in the tornado warning, so not a big issue, but they should probably watch this pretty close just in case. So you may want to call them and wake them up just so that they know what's going on. We actually live closer to More rather than Divine. And the answer is, yeah, you should definitely be in a safe spot because this storm is going to be passing fairly close to More. What do you think about Lavernia? Right now, Lavernia is doing fine, Matt. No issues for Lavernia at the moment. Is 410 and Highway 16 clear of the tornado warning? Yes, no issues there. So I see somebody saying it keeps breaking up on me and getting fuzzy. Is 410 and Highway 16 clear? Seems like my audio is fine. I was just making sure. So again, the tornado warning showing the storm moving east at about 55 miles per hour. This tornado warning is until 1:30. And guys, I was wondering if they were going to warn for that next area of rotation, and they sure did. So we have a second tornado warning that has now been issued. I saw that, and I was wondering, I wonder if they're going to warn for that as well, if they warn for this south area of rotation. But we had this second area off to the north. This is south of Sabinal, and this tornado warning includes the counties of Medina and Uvalde. So far southeast portions of Uvalde County and then into southwest portions of Medina County. This tornado warning is also going to be moving at about east at about 55 miles per hour. And this one is going to be until 1:30 a.m. as well. So we now have two tornado warnings where we have this line of storms that's making its way off to the east. And both of them are definitely serious situations that we need to take real serious. This storm is actually pretty interesting. Just east of 127 in Uvalde County. Really, this storm now moving right across the county line from Uvalde into Medina counties. So there's that secondary rotation. And this one's going to be moving maybe a little bit east-northeast. Let's go ahead and get a timeline of this storm too. So a few places out ahead of this, I would believe that's Byrie at 1:30 a.m. The Dunlay at about 1:30 as well, a.m. Dunlay, I guess. Yeah, just Dunlay. I just read out the a.m. Sorry, guys. I've been up here for a little while. I've been up for a little while. It may show a little bit at times. But closer to the Dunlay area there by 1:30. So that's another storm that we're going to have to watch real close for. Again, two tornado warnings out there right now. These are the main issues. And then also the large hail that's possible with this storm to go along with it. It's definitely not the most impressive circulation, but tornadoes are definitely possible with these two storms. Now, actually, that rotation that's just north of 57, that's actually a little bit more significant, so I'll take that back. That's pretty significant right there, right here. That's what we're going to be watching for even closer as these storms continue to move off towards the east. So I'm going to keep this zoomed out just a little bit so you can see both the areas of rotation. Divine is kind of squeezed right between these two spots. I saw a lot of people talking about Divine earlier. If you got any friends or family out there, go ahead and call them. Make sure that they know they need to get in their safe place, that interior room, away from any windows. Away from any windows and as many walls between them and the outside as possible. Wear shoes, wear a helmet. Or say wear shoes because if your home has been heavily damaged, you need to climb out. You don't want to be stepping on glass that may be in the living room or in your bedroom, and nails and stuff that could be on the ground. You want to make sure you protect your feet. You also want to make sure you protect your head while the event is happening. That's why I say wear a helmet. I'm going to see what the National Weather Service is saying, see if there's been a confirmation of any tornado seen. Both these tornadoes are radar indicated. We just talked about what we saw on radar. There's two areas of rotation. That's why they were issued. No confirmed tornadoes, but it's hard to confirm a tornado when it's this late at night. 1:07 in the morning, not a lot of people out there that could accidentally come across and see a tornado. And also, it's hard to see it anyway. We got a lot of rain out there. That's rain wrapping these storms. And also, it's nighttime, so it's hard to see things at night, especially if they could be far away. So just two spots that we're going to have to watch closely and rely on radar and trust the radar that it could be showing that. Taking a look at hail, too. Still pretty good size hail. And, guys, this is I think this is just going to continue to pump through. This may be our last round, though. I'll tell you that. This could be it for the rest of the night. This last round, but it's definitely trying to pack a punch. By the way, if you're wondering, Weather Chief Bill Taylor is on KENS 5 right now giving an update on these storms. You can tune in and watch his updates as well as he talks about some of these tornado-warned storms that are making their way from Uvalde County into Medina County and then also from Zavala County into parts of Frio County. Brianna asking, does anybody know about Stone Oak? Right now, no warnings in Stone Oak, no issues there. Bexar County does not have any warnings, but we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Uvalde County and to parts of Medina County. So we're going to have to watch that area closely now, too. Now, that's going to be just north of these two tornado warnings that we're keeping a close eye on. So, guys, another round of severe storms moving through South Texas. Just kind of buckle in. This is going to be going on here for probably the next, I would say, next hour or two. We're going to continue to watch these kind of move through. What about Converse? The answer is nothing going on in Converse right now. But in about an hour, storms are going to move through. I'm willing to bet, though, they struggle to hold together as they move through Converse just because of the atmosphere being so worked over there in northeast Bexar County. Will these storms hit San Antonio? The answer is yes. I do expect them to hit San Antonio, but I also expect them to kind of weaken as they start to enter Bexar County. We'll have to see that, though. Raining, here now, just now at Calabria and Callahan. People asking about SeaWorld. Yeah, in about an hour, you're probably going to see a stronger storm move through. Just be ready for that. So let's go ahead and put the speed on these storms, and let's get an idea who they'll be hitting and at what time. We'll brush it all the way through San Antonio. Frio Town by 1:12 a.m. Hondo by 1:20. So Hondo about 20 minutes away from these storms impacting you. Helotes by 1:47. By the way, Hondo and Helotes, we're talking about severe thunderstorms. We're not talking about the tornado warnings. But areas that could be impacted by the tornadoes, like Frio Town, keep a close eye on this. Wolf Stadium, severe thunderstorm possible there by 1:56, 2:03 in San Antonio. Pleasanton could get a severe thunderstorm by the time we get to about 2:08. And Floresville could see one by about 2:25, but I expect these storms to weaken a lot by the time they make it over to Floresville. Ryan just asked about Floresville. Yeah, so these storms should weaken a lot by the time they get to Floresville, but you still could have a pretty strong storm move through. So they've been trimming back the tornado warning a little bit here and there. Excuse me, yeah, excuse me. I'm sorry I keep coughing into the mic like that. So here's the rotations again. Still seeing similar concerns on the velocity product of our radar. The rotation is south of Hondo, but it is moving through Medina County. We also have it moving through parts of Frio County, and I think that the rotation will stay north of Pearsall, possibly crossing I-35 there close to where 57 and 35 meet. So Divine, I would watch this very closely. Pearsall, I think this will pass you just to the north. Looks like the rotation that's in southern Medina County just kind of weakened a little bit. Let's hope that continues. But still there. Still a little bit of rotation there south of Hondo. Power just restored after 3 hours down. Will power go out again at 4:10 in Culebra? The answer is it's possible. I mean, we do have more storms that are going to be moving through, and that could knock out your power again in that area. So we're looking at the lightning added to the storms as well, and you see, man, these are just electric storms. I'm going to go ahead and put this into pause, and let's go ahead and look at the amount of lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. 1,665 strikes in 15 minutes. These are just totally electric storms, totally electric. All right, so we still have the 2 tornado warnings. Anybody along Highway 57, you definitely need to be in your safe place. Again, this is going to be getting close towards Moore, where 57 and 35 meet. So please go ahead and get to that interior room. This is definitely the storm that we got to watch the closest right now. I know we got more severe thunderstorm warnings out there, guys, like in Bandera County, but that storm not as intense. How much time do we have until it reaches the Divine area? Let's go ahead and show that off. Looking like maybe about, excuse me, guys, I'm so sorry. Maybe about 20 minutes. 20 minutes before it arrives to the Divine area. See if the National Weather Service says anything new about these storms. Josie wants to know, is it going to rain tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.? We may still have some lingering showers at 5 a.m., Josie. It's possible. Uh-oh, computer just froze up on me, guys. Let me see if I can get this computer back running. It's giving me a little bit of problems. Well, guys, I may not be able to get, I'm trying to get the computer back up. We still have the tornado warnings in place. What's that? No, it's all good. I've got it back up. I've got it back up. Just got control of the computers again, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so southern Medina County, that's the big issue right now. Just east of 127, just southwest of 173. Again, Divine, Moore, stretching into Lytle. That's going to be where we have the next round of storms move through. That's where we have the 2 tornado warnings in place. Pearsall, you're included in the warning. This tornado warned part of the storm that was going to pass to your north. That's the good news. But unfortunately, the bad news is, our friends in Moore are out in front of this. Our friends in Devine are out in front of this. The spots that we got to watch closely out for. I see a question about, are we expecting a major thunder and lightning show again in northwest San Antonio? The answer is yeah. We're going to have more thunder and lightning and heavy rain move through. Right now, we have thunderstorms developing over Bexar County. We just actually had a pretty good shower pass over the medical center area just a second ago. Just had a quick brief downpour, and you could expect some of that too in other parts of the county to go along with it. Now let's take another look at the hail cores associated with this, because guys, that's been one of the biggest issues with these storms. The hail has been big, and it is still very large. We're still talking about anywhere from golf ball to tennis ball size hail associated in these storms that have now crossed over into Frio and Medina counties. So the tornado warnings are over for Uvalde and into Zavala counties. Frio and Medina, the tornado warnings continue. And these tornado warnings are expected to continue, I believe, until 1:30. Yeah, until 1:30. All right, guys, we're going to get another tornado warning in here, and I think it's going to be for the D'Hanis area and Hondo. Right now, we've got this area of rotation right along Highway 90, and I'm taking a look at this, and I really do think that they're going to end up warning that as well. Hondo, you're about to get a tornado warning. You're not in a tornado warning right now, but you're about to be. Go ahead and get in that safe spot and away from any exterior windows, and make sure that you're in that safe spot and stay there until we say it's okay to come out. That's going to get warned. I can already tell that rotation's significant enough right there along Highway 90 in a spot where we've already had an issue with tornadoes. It looks like we're going to have the possibility for another one to form. If not, it may have already formed. So this is going to be moving east at about 55 miles per hour. Right now, if you're in Hondo, you just need to go ahead and get to that safe spot. We talked about how this second round of storms was coming through. Unfortunately, you hate it when you get one round of storms, but you especially hate it whenever you two rounds end up hitting the same spot, causing similar problems. So again, no tornado warning yet for Hondo, but it's about to come out. I can just tell by looking at the radar. I'm sure the National Weather Service is looking at it too and thinking, man, we're going to warn this. I accidentally clicked off something on my screen here. Let's see if any questions are coming in. Brianna says, I just got over being sick and I was excited to sleep. Now I can't. Thanks, South Texas weather. Do you think it'll weaken up by the time it arrives around San Antonio? Yes, actually, I do believe that. What about New Braunfels? Are we in danger? The answer is not right now. You're fine right now, New Braunfels. Guys, that rotation is getting a little bit more significant as it gets towards Hondo. No tornado warning yet, but guys, they're going to warn that. That's a little bit more significant rotation than some of those storms to the south that they warned earlier. So if you live in Hondo, maybe just north of Hondo, this is going to be a tornado warned storm. That's not tornado warned yet, but it is going to become tornado warned. And we may have a tornado pass just there through Hondo, along and just north of Highway 90. Even if you're south of Highway 90 in Hondo, go ahead and get to that safe spot because, again, I do think that there could be a tornado here, and I do think that the National Weather Service is likely about to warn it themselves for this storm that's making its way through Medina County. We still have the tornado warning to the south. That's going to be moving across 173. Let's go ahead and circle where that area of rotation is, too. I'm going to go ahead and put everything in pause, too, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. That area, that's going to pass, I believe, just north of Divine. But if you live in Divine, please just stay in that safe spot. Just continue to stay where you're at. Lytle, go ahead and think about getting to that safe area. Go ahead and think about where you're going to need to head to, because the tornado warning may be extended into your area. And then let's look at this rotation to the south. It's kind of just disappeared completely. The one that was headed up 57 towards Moore and I-35. Stay in your safe spot if you're in Moore, though. So still no tornado warning up here in Medina County between Sabinal and Hondo, close to D'Hanis. But guys, there's some pretty good rotation right there. I think that we could have a tornado here just along Highway 90. Still some rotation too. Let me see if there's anything for the National Weather Service. Still talking about some of these other tornado warnings, but nothing about this new storm or this new area of rotation that we're watching. Just stay in your safe spot if you're in Hondo. I mean, obviously, you still have a strong or severe thunderstorm warning moving over you, so you should want to stay there anyway. But that's a pretty intense storm moving through in Hondo. So that's that rotation that I've been talking about. Let's go ahead and get some more road names on there. So FM 1796, that's where that rotation is moving over right now. FM 462 North, Castro Avenue. Some roads that I had named a little bit earlier. Ernest says the NWS website has a tornado warning for that spot. Yeah, they have their tornado warning for the storm south of there, the two storms south of there, but not necessarily for that spot. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And it looks like that's what they're going to go with instead of a tornado warning. Typically, if the National Weather Service does that, where they had a tornado warning, but then they create a severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of it, that lets us know that they're going to let that tornado warning that right now is in southern Medina County expire, and they're going to just go with a severe thunderstorm warning instead. So it gives us a kind of an idea what they're thinking. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to plug in my phone. My phone is dying. What they're thinking for that storm, and what it could do as it continues to kind of chug its way off towards the northeast at a brisk pace, 55 miles per hour. Very, very fast-moving storms this Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Still a little bit of rotation up there near Hondo, but it's kind of, well, it's still, I would say it's still worrisome enough that you should still stay in your safe spot in Hondo, guys. I'm going to continue to watch that. Don't worry. Definitely looks like just strong winds now, though, south of there in southern Medina County. And that rotation that was down closer on towards Moore is pretty much gone completely now. Not really much of an issue. But still some strong winds, still some large hail. Things that you're going to be dealing with here as these storms continue to shift off towards the east. Has the storm moved past Uvalde? The answer is yes. The storm has passed you. Let's go ahead and take a look at radar. You see that there's still some showers left behind. Still could have a little bit more rain in Uvalde, but the storm that is severe has passed Uvalde. Getting really, really windy here at I-35 between Moore and Divine. Yep, very strong storm just to your west. That's why. So we got 5 more minutes on both these tornado warnings, and then they'll expire. Is it going to hit Hondo a lot? Yeah, I mean, you're going to have some strong storms in Hondo. I mean, they're arriving in Hondo right now. Could also have some pretty good size hail, maybe nickel size hail, maybe up to quarter size hail. Just heard a rumble of thunder outside the station. We also have some showers and storms developing over Bexar County. Nothing severe with those storms over Bexar County right now, but could be dealing with a lot of heavy rain at times. All right, so this is going to be moving through Bexar County here. Looks like we got about 30 minutes or so before this line of storms moves through Bexar County. Let's go ahead and put a tracker on it. Looks like it could move right through downtown San Antonio this next round by the time we get to about 2:07 a.m. So here we are about 30 minutes away, a little bit more than that, really about 40 minutes away from that. Alamo Dome at 2:08. Helotes, a lot of questions about Helotes tonight, 1:55, so about 30 minutes away from Helotes. Lytle at 1:43 a.m. Lake Hills at 1:38. Bandera at 1:28. So this is answering a lot of people's questions about when this storm is going to impact them. Schertz, 2:22. New Braunfels at 2:32. So that's a good little draw out of when this storm will impact who. Now, the northern edge of the storm, not as strong, but the southern end, and where it's kind of bowing out there, when I say bowing, let me show you what I'm talking about. This little edge right there that I just drew on the map, that's going to be where we have our strongest winds. Now, I believe that's also going to be where we have some of the larger hail, and that is. Now, here's the thing. The hail cores have really shrunk here in some of the recent updates. If that continues, we may see this thunderstorm just completely die out. Now, I have more good news. That rotation that was near Hondo, it started to really kind of fan out and calm down a little bit. If you're in Hondo, I don't think you don't have to be in your safe place right now. But again, be ready to run back there in case you need to. You're about to have the strongest part of the storm move through. So again, that rotation calmed down. I was talking about how maybe you want to be in that safe spot because there could be a tornado trying to form. But I think you're good to go ahead and come out. But still, don't go outside. Don't try to drive anywhere because still about to have some really strong winds with the severe thunderstorm moving through there at the moment. Large hail, heavy rain, damaging winds, all possible. A lot of lightning, frequent lightning with these storms. And really strong wind, especially about to move across 173 between Divine and Hondo. Man, really strong wind, pretty much right between the two towns. And that's going to continue off to the east-northeast, may pass just south of Castroville, but honestly, that could also maybe just go right through the heart of Castroville. It'll either be just south or right through the heart of it. Very strong winds there, where you're seeing a little bit more in the way of blue. Let me go ahead and pause this and circle what I'm talking about right here. Those are really strong winds that are moving off to the east and northeast. So is the red heading towards Divine just a severe storm now? Yeah, it's expected to, the rotation has pretty much gone away, but still a really strong storm, really strong wind. As it moves off to the northeast. So, I mean, I would still take that storm real serious. So we still have about a minute left in these tornado warnings, and then you're going to see them pop off. There they go. They're gone. No more tornado warnings in South Texas. And we're left with 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got one in Uvalde to Medina County. Now, Uvalde, you're done. Uvalde County is not seeing any severe thunderstorms right now. All the severe aspects of these storms are to the east now. Still some rain in Uvalde County, parts of the county, but nothing severe. We still do have severe weather, though. Divine about to get the possibility of up to quarter-size hail, some strong winds as well. And then this storm complex is going to push right on into Bexar County. Are we expecting any severe storms in the Kirby and Converse area? It is possible. Right now, you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is possible that this severe thunderstorm warning could be extended into the Converse area. Any hail expected for the I-10 1604 area? And the answer is it's possible you could get some pea-sized hail, but if I bring back up our hail product, you'll notice that the only spots we're seeing hail are just north of Bandera, where we have, that's going to be moving towards Bernie, where we have peat and nickel-sized hail, which is sub-severe. Not going to cause a lot of damage, not going to really cause any damage. I wouldn't want it to hit my car, but you may not want it to hit your car, but not going to be as serious. But down towards Divine, that's where we could have more in the way of a quarter to maybe even ping pong ball size hail approach Divine and Natalia there along I-35. Closer to Hondo, peat and nickel size hail, not as serious, but still wind blown, could be a bit of an issue. And all this is still continuing to move its way off towards the east at about 55 miles per hour. And it looks like it could be kind of collapsing just a little bit, weakening this thunderstorm activity, which would be great to see. I would love to see these warnings just go away by the time we get to 2:15 a.m. and the National Weather Service saying, the storms have kind of collapsed. So it looks like they're getting ready to issue a tornado warning for Hondo, guys. Let me go ahead and bring up velocity data, see what they're seeing. Oh, yeah. So they're seeing 2 areas of rotation right now, and they're going to get ready to warn these guys. And this is also going to include Castroville. So the first area that they're looking at right there, and the second area right here. Those 2 spots are going to be moving kind of off to the north and east. The tornado warning itself, the storm may be pushing east, but the areas of rotation are kind of moving north and east. But I believe the National Weather Service is about to issue a warning for those 2 areas of rotation. So the rotation's still there, but these are going to be really quick areas of rotation, by the way. So it's going to be like one of those moments where it's like, boom, instant rotation, and then it kind of goes away in about 2 radar scans, so about 10 minutes long. We're not talking about long tracking tornadoes right now. We're talking about really brief hits that are possible, and hopefully they hit more rural areas if it does happen where there's nobody living out there. But unfortunately, this is hitting along Highway 90. There's a lot of people out there, and there's that tornado warning until 2:15 a.m. The New Fountain area, you are included in this. Hondo, you're in the heart of this. Looks like that area of rotation is right now on the northeast side near 173 and Highway 90, but really more along 173 just north of Highway 90. We also have another area of rotation that's just outside of the polygon right here. This is going to actually move up towards Dunlay. So heads up, Castroville. This may pass just to your north, but it still could go right in the heart. It still could maybe take a little bit more of an easterly turn and go into Castroville. This other one, New Fountain, going to go right through New Fountain. All right, guys, let me get a speed on this, see if the speed has changed from the National Weather Service. So this is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and get a time for everybody on who is ahead of this and what time it could impact you. I want to draw something a little bit more than just that. I want to show a little bit more areas. So let's make this real broad. Going northeast. And guys, I forgot to change one thing with this. Let me change one thing with it. Some of those numbers are going to be a little bit off because the speed isn't the same as what I was trying to draw. All right, so here's the timeline on this. Castroville by 1:42, so you got about 7 minutes before these storms arrive in Castroville. Beluga Stadium by 2:12, so a little bit further off to the north and east there. Medina Valley School by 1:41, Potranco Elementary School by 1:55. Just a few of the spots out ahead of this. Is that headed towards Helotes? The answer is yes, but these are really brief tornado spin-ups. I doubt that this holds together by the time it arrives in Helotes. Now, you may get a new tornado warning by the time this arrives in Helotes, but it's not going to be one of those ones that's extended very far. If we do get tornadoes from this storm here, we're not talking about long-term, long-tracking tornadoes. We're talking about brief spin-ups with the type of formation that we're seeing within these storms. Either one you don't want, right? But just because it looks like it's heading your way doesn't mean that this one is what one you have to worry about. We could get more warnings, though, later on. I want to go ahead and take a look at hail because that's a good indicator of how strong the updraft is within the storm and if the storms are weakening or holding together. Honestly, hail cores have been shrinking big time as these storms get closer and closer to Bexar County, which is what we want to see. It means the storms are kind of falling apart a little bit. That doesn't mean that we don't still have issues like tornado warnings and damaging winds and heavy rain. All those are still possible with these storms as they push off to the east. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings in place. We still have the tornado warning in place. Let's see here. What about Seguin? I have a terrified child. Well, right now, Seguin has no issues. These storms, I think, are going to be falling apart as they move across Bexar County, but you still could have a strong storm when you wake up tomorrow morning. But when you wake up tomorrow morning, they'll be gone, rather. But we still could have a strong storm over the next hour or two, and then things are going to really quiet down by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. That's what I meant to say. I've been up for a while, guys. I've been live for a while, so if I misspeak and I got to rewind and correct myself, please just work with me on it. Rain starting in Divine. Thank you so much for that report. Is this the last severe storm for the night? And I do believe so. I think this is going to be our kind of last big round of severe storm as we head throughout tonight. We still have a few more storms to the south and west that are going to try to do something, but that isn't going to be a guarantee. Will it just pass Hondo? The answer is yeah, the rotation is actually past Hondo already. Let's take a look at the two areas of rotation. Now, one of the rotations is close enough to Hondo where I would still stay in my safe spot right there. That's a pretty good area of rotation. Let's go ahead and zoom down a little bit closer to that one. Get a look at some of the roads right there. So New Fountain, 173, FM 2676. That's going to be where that area of rotation is. Ooh, gosh, my focus trying when I've been talking too long. Dunlay, right there, is seeing some rotation too. Let me go ahead and circle that. And of course, Castroville, just behind that, that's going to be where our next area of rotation could head to. That's going to be a spot that we're watching closely. All right. Putting everything into pause. I'm going to erase that, guys. Let me take a wider look at things. So let's pop up radar. So I want to show what's behind this because I've seen a lot of people asking about more storms behind this. You see that we do have some storms trying to hold together there in Zavala and Frio counties. Nothing severe about those storms. The strong storm that we have right now is the one that's in Medina County. That's going to be moving into parts of very northern Atascosa County, north of Pleasanton, not including Pleasanton, into Bexar County, parts of maybe even Bandera County, rushing up on the south side there, closer on to Medina Lake, and then moving straight through the heart of Bexar County. So right now, no tornado warning for Bexar County. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings in place for Bexar County, but no tornado warnings. But I'm willing to bet this tornado warning will cancel before it gets through. Kathy's saying, someone get Andrew something to drink. No problem. Don't worry, Kathy. I'll get myself a bottle of water here pretty soon. We're going to watch the storm as it passes through, and once all of our severe warnings are off the screen, which I'm willing to bet will happen in about an hour to an hour and a half, I'm going to go grab some water myself. So what time is this hitting Hondo? Honestly, it's already passed through Hondo. Hondo's on the back side of this now. I would say that if you live in Hondo, you're good to go ahead and head outside. Now, don't go out for a drive. No need to head out for a drive. It's 1:41 in the morning. You shouldn't be going out for a drive right now. But you also aren't going to be having any, we still have some strong storms out there. It's best to just stay where you're at. Also, we had some strong storms pass through. There could be some power lines down, maybe some trees down. Yeah, best not to be out on the roadways right now as far as the heavy rain is concerned, and then also the possibility for some flooding. There's some flooding in a few spots. We had that in west and northwest San Antonio. And something that I haven't talked about is once this moves through northwest San Antonio, those spots where we just had flooding, well, guess what? We're about to have it again because this is really heavy rainfall that's about to move through and likely going to cause more issues with flooding as the really heavy rain moves through. So just get ready for that. Western Bexar County into northwest Bexar County, especially where we had the flooding earlier, I would not be surprised if we had more flooding in those spots. Just about to hit here in Rio Medina. Yep, I see that on my radar. Definitely going to hit there real soon. If it's not already raining, it's going to start raining real hard, real soon. Let's take a look at velocity again, guys. I want to take a look at exactly where that rotation is. See if anything new to show you has popped up. The rotation really broad, which that's what you want to hear me say. If I'm saying broad rotation, it means that it's possibly not a tornado. If you ever hear me say tight rotation, that means, ooh, man, that's serious. We may have a tornado on the ground right there. But the tornado is fairly broad. I'd still take it seriously if you're in Castroville. The rotation that was further to the north has really kind of collapsed. So if you're there in New Fountain and northeast of there, not really much of an issue with that anymore. But the rotation that's closer to Dunlay, that's what I'd be taking a closer look at, even though that is so very broad rotation. Definitely something we should keep a close eye on as it gets closer on towards Castroville. So let me go and see what the National Weather Service is saying, see if they have any more to include. Here's something good. You're going to love hearing this. Edwards, Kinney, Maverick, Real, and Valverde County. The tornado watch has been canceled for your area. With that happening, the National Weather Service kind of sees what we're seeing, how I mentioned how things are going to quiet down, and I think that in an hour and a half, we're not going to have any more watches and warnings, or, excuse me, didn't mean to say watches, any more warnings. I could see that happening. Notice that it's still showing up as watches on our screen. Again, we've had a little bit of an issue with watches and warnings and not expiring or not canceling when the National Weather Service cancels them. So it waits till they expire. But we do have Uvalde, Valverde counties, Edwards, Kinney, and Maverick, and Real no longer or under a tornado watch. Now, I think I actually just said Uvalde. I did not mean to say Uvalde. Excuse me. Edwards, Kinney, Maverick, Real, Valverde. We've been talking Uvalde so much tonight that it's on the brain. So Uvalde is actually still under the tornado watch, but I'd be willing to bet that we see their watch go away here within the next hour as well. So, sorry, Uvalde on the brain tonight with how much storms they've had, as well as Medina County. Man, they have both taken the brunt of the bad weather tonight. I see some kind words being shared by Hunter and Charlotte. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I try to do my best. I watch some people who I think are the best to give me advice on how to cover things, and I feel like I'm in their shadow, and I hope I can be better myself one day. I've got a lot of work to do though in order to fill shoes like those. Charlotte says, "Best meteorologist, thank you so much. I appreciate that." 90 outside of 1604. Is there a tornado? Right now, no. Does not look like it. We do have the tornado warning in place, so you should be in your safe spot if you're in Medina County, but in Bexar County does not look like we have one right now. Let me go ahead and bring back up rotation because, of course, there is that concern. But you saw where the rotation was stronger near Hondo. Right there. I paused it at 1:25 a.m. Let me continue to run it through. The rotation kind of collapses. I mentioned that the way that this is set up right now, the way that we're seeing rotation in these storms is real brief. Whenever you have tornadoes form in their own cell, in a supercell, and its own little storm, those are your long tracking tornadoes. Whenever you have a band of rain like this or a line of storms and you have little blips of rotation forming out ahead of it, those are short-lived storms. Short-lived tornadoes. So that's what we're dealing with right now. We've got these little short areas of rotation that are getting, that typically form from showers whenever they get sucked into the main storm out ahead of it. We'll end up with a brief tornado or a brief area of rotation even. And that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Now this tornado warning, again, is still until 2:15, so we still got about 30 minutes left on it. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings, which are going to be going on here until 2:15 as well. Let's take a look at hail. You know, we've been going back and forth, taking a look at these different products. Man, hail is collapsing. Guys, these storms are weakening. The updraft just is not as strong as what it was earlier, which is good. That's what you want to hear me say. We're talking about pea to nickel-size hail. These storms are collapsing as they make their way into Bexar County. They are still going to be strong as they move through Bexar County. We are still going to have a flooding issue because we have a lot of heavy rain, flooding in the more typical areas where we typically see flooding, not anything out of the ordinary. But heavy rain is going to move through, lots of lightning, still going to get some pea to nickel-size hail, but I'm willing to bet that these storms really weaken as we head into the next 15 to 30 minutes. Whenever storms move through behind other storms, typically you have, if you get a really good thunderstorm in one spot, it kind of takes all the energy out of the atmosphere. So once another storm tries to come through, it says, oh man, I'm going to keep using all this energy that I found. And then it says, wait, oh, I'm out of energy. There's no energy to get in the atmosphere here. So the storms collapse. And that's kind of what we're seeing, I'm willing to bet, going to see with this storm as it continues to shift off to the east. Still going to be strong, don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be as powerful as what we had earlier on. And the National Weather Service agrees that, yes, it is still going to be strong, just like what I said. A severe thunderstorm warning just issued all the way through Bexar County to Schertz and St. Hedwig. This includes Elmendorf. We've had a lot of people asking about Elmendorf, and puts it right on the doorstep of Floresville as we head throughout the next hour or so. So let's see when that tornado or the severe thunderstorm warning is until. It's until 2:30 in the morning. So we still got about 50 minutes to 40 to 50 minutes left on that warning. Now the tornado warning is still in place. Let's see if the National Weather Service has any more updates on that. Not seeing any new information from them for that. They are saying the large hail threat is going down. I completely agree. We were just talking about that, how pea to nickel size hail is more likely compared to that large baseball size hail that we saw earlier with this storm. Lexi says, Andrew, did you get your car safe from the hail? Yes. Yes, my hail is, my car is safe from the hail. So thankfully, I did not get to go move it. It's just the hail ended up calming down. The storm said, all right, you know what? I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to hail on this guy's car. Unfortunately, though, guys, we did have a lot of people whose cars did get heavily damaged from hail tonight. Really sorry to hear that. I wish we didn't have to deal with that here. Unfortunately, that's a part of South Texas. We do get these big hailstorms every once in a while. I hope that you can get your car and your property fixed quickly, and I'm sorry to hear that we have had some damage. I do hope that everyone has stayed safe in these storms. I do hope that everyone continues to stay safe throughout tonight. Please know that we are going to get flooding out there this evening. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Flooding kills more people every year than tornadoes, than severe storms, than lightning, than hurricanes. Flooding within a hurricane can contribute to deaths, but flooding in general is the most deadly type of severe weather. So please, if you see water going across the road, don't try to drive through it. Don't try to walk in floodwaters. You never know what's in the water. There could be something sharp. There could be a power line, especially when you have strong storms like this. So flooding will possibly be an issue as these storms move through. Please don't go out into floodwaters. So no hail here, just rain and thunder in Castroville. That's what I want to hear. Thank you for your report there, Coco. Getting nice and noisy again by UTSA. Yeah, probably going to start hearing a lot more thunder. And that's going to pick up even more as these storms move east. So still a couple more storms back towards the Pryor and Crystal City. I'm willing to bet those weaken, though, as they follow suit to the other storms. You notice how they're kind of following those other ones. The atmosphere, again, being worked over out ahead of these storms, and we should see them kind of collapse a little bit as they try to follow behind those other thunderstorms. All right, so it looks like they're not going to continue that tornado warning into Bexar County, because the rotation pretty much has collapsed, but still sticking with the severe thunderstorm warning due to strong winds and that possibility to maybe pea to nickel-sized hail. Wow, look at the hail just go away. Watch. So here's 1 a.m. Look at the purples there. And the hail core just completely collapsing as it continues to shift east. That lets us know that the updraft is not as strong as what it was before. The updraft, which is what causes the storm to build and intensify. Now the downdraft is taking control, and with that, there's going to be some strong winds. Because you've got to think, all that moisture, all that rain, that water, that air goes way up in the storm, and then it's kind of like if you dump a bucket on the ground. If you dump a bucket on the ground, water just pushes out everywhere real fast. Well, that air and that water pushes out real fast once it hits the ground. And so you end up with strong winds. And that's why the severe thunderstorm warning is still in place. Yeah, the hail is going down, but we still are going to have strong winds out ahead of this thunderstorm and also a lot of heavy rain. So you see a lot of, there's another sign. You know, we have a strong updraft when we see a lot of lightning in a storm, but the lightning is going down. Look at the amount of lightning just kind of collapsing as these storms move across. Not as much lightning compared to what we had earlier on. That's what we want to see. This is good, guys. We're seeing this storm really weaken, and I hope that does continue as this makes its way into Bexar County. So the tornado warning has now been canceled. Even though it's still showing up on our screen, we are having a little bit of an issue with some of the boxes popping up on our screen and not going away when a warning is canceled. We've been in contact with our provider for our graphics here, and they're going to be able to get that fixed tomorrow, but they weren't able to get that fixed tonight. Right now, there are no tornado warnings for South Texas, so that's important to know. You're going to see that warning box there until 2:15 when the warning actually expires, but the National Weather Service has canceled that tornado warning. We still do have a lot of heavy rain out there, really noisy thunderstorms about to move into San Antonio. Just be ready for that, but no tornado warnings. Getting reports of pea-sized hail near Government Canyon. Thank you so much for that report, Lauren. I would not expect the hail to get much bigger than that. Maybe up to penny size. Nickel at most, but I would not expect the hail to get much bigger than pea size. That's the good news, Lauren. So you're going to like to hear that. I know none of us want any hail damage. Let's go ahead and bring up the hail tracker again. Again, that's been one of the big issues today, and man, it's pretty much gone. Yeah, we still got some pea size hail out there. That's about it. That's about it. So great news. This storm is really going to collapse as it moves through Bexar County, guys. Strong rain in Castroville. Coco, I believe it. Yeah, you've got the most intense part there moving through right now. And it should start to calm down pretty soon. But yeah, and it's going to happen quick. Really heavy rain, about 15 to 20 minutes, most. And then, boom, it's quiet again. And then you're going to get another round through. You see more rain moving in behind in Hondo. That is not severe. That is sub-severe, which means that it's just a strong thunderstorm, a lot of heavy rain. That's it. Castroville, you're going to probably get that too. You see maybe a couple rounds down towards Batesville and La Pryor. That's going to continue to move northeast. But again, these two storms down here are sub-severe. Nothing severe about them. It's just this front storm that has been causing us a little bit in the way of severe weather itself. Anything to worry about in Garden Ridge? Not right now. Strong here on Potranco Road. Yep, that's Kim. You're in the thick of it right now. That's going to be right where the heaviest of the rain is moving through at the moment, and also you may end up with a little bit of pea-sized hail through there. So get ready for that, but again, nothing too bad, just really strong winds, because remember, all that air, this is a dying thunderstorm right now. The showers, the rain, and the air that's up high in the cloud is rushing to the surface and pushing wind out, causing for some strong winds, really heavy rain right now. So that's going to really happen right over San Antonio. Probably going to face some power outages because of that. Just be ready for that to go along with it. And not to mention, we still also have some lightning out there that could be causing a little bit of power outages to go along with it as well. So again, if you're just now joining us, the screen says tornado warning, I know, but that tornado warning has been canceled. So that is no longer in place. We've had a little bit of a graphic issue tonight here with our system, but no longer have a tornado warning in place for Medina County. That has been canceled by the National Weather Service. Brian's saying downdraft winds. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about, the downdraft winds. Sometimes you can see that. I used to work in Biloxi, Mississippi, down on the Mississippi coast, and we'd have a lot of big, intense thunderstorms in the summertime, and you can see it at the bottom of a storm. Sometimes we call it a rain foot. And it's when you're looking at a storm, you know, you'll see the rain shaft. Well, sometimes you'll see it kind of jet out in front at the bottom of the shower, and that's the rain foot. That lets you know, man, you got some strong winds. And it's a kind of a telltale sign looking at the shower or storm from far away that that thing's got some strong winds from an intense downdraft. Chris says, when are you getting sleep tonight? Chris, don't worry. I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to sleep tomorrow. I was off today, but, you know, hey, we gotta make sure everyone stays safe. I can sleep tomorrow. And then I'm sure our bosses will maybe give me a little bit more of a break on Friday too. So what's important is we all get through tonight, and then we can all take a little bit more of a break tomorrow, right? Let's get through tonight. We can all take more of a break tomorrow. Mimi says, Mississippi born here. Hey, good to hear, good to hear. You know, I love Mississippi, but Texas is a land of opportunity. That is for sure. I've loved my time here in Texas. So there's so much opportunity out here and a lot of great food to go along with it. Could it get stronger, Timothy wants to know. The answer is it's possible, but I don't think so, because it's moving into an area where there's been already a lot of thunderstorm activity, and that's going to cause the storm to kind of struggle to intensify. There's not as much energy in the atmosphere. So I hope that answers your question there, Timothy. Melissa says, rain coming down hard at 410 in Culebra. I'm willing to bet. Is Hondo okay as of now? Yes. The strong, severe part of the storm is out of there. The thunderstorms that are moving into Hondo right now are sub-severe. They are not severe. That tornado warning that's popping up on your screen is canceled. It is actually no longer active. Kim says, I appreciate for you being here through this. No problem. No problem at all. Bill Taylor, by the way, Weather Chief Bill Taylor, he's in here too. He's working hard in the studio right now. Let's see here. How many storms behind this one? The answer is there's a couple of them, but they're not severe, and they're not going to get severe, I'm willing to bet. Stone Oak area, looks like the stronger storms are going to stay south of Stone Oak, so no issues in Stone Oak. Still going to get some strong winds, still going to get some heavy rain and some lightning, but nothing in the way of severe weather up your way. The severe storms are going to stay south of Stone Oak. Is that another cell headed towards Hondo, Sandy? The answer is yes, but it is not severe. And I can pop up hail here so you can take a look at it. Oh man, hail has basically gone away completely. I mean, we still have some hail down here near Lytle, but definitely not as intense. Pea-size hail. Pretty intense in Atascosa right now. Yeah, northern Atascosa County having some pretty intense rain and some strong winds. It's pouring in Helotes. Will we see stronger cells? The answer is no. You're seeing the stronger part right now. Yeah, people in Helotes. I see a few people starting to chime in about Helotes. Yeah, you're seeing the strongest part that you're going to see, I think, for the rest of the night right now in Helotes. A lot of strong winds, but it's not severe. Nothing severe there. And let's go ahead and pop up velocity just to put your mind at ease. Nothing in the way of a tornado warned or any need for a tornado warning there. Nothing like that. Just strong winds moving through as the bulk of the rain moves through as well. You may even get some pea-sized hail at most. What's the yellow? That's a severe thunderstorm warning. That area highlighted in red, that's a tornado warning, but remember, that is canceled. That is no longer in effect. We've had a little bit of an issue with our system tonight, but that tornado warning has been canceled. Seeing a lot of people talking about thunder and lightning around I-10, De Zavala area. Yep, probably seeing a lot of that now. Lights are flickering in Alamo Ranch. Yep, we're about to have a lot of people chime in here from Bexar County. I'm willing to bet that we see the count of people viewing us on our Facebook Live go up because a lot of people are about to wake up and say, man, is it really happening again outside? And yeah, you know, we've got this second round coming in, and looking behind it, a lot quieter. Like I said, we still have a few more showers down there in Zavala County, but those are not going to amount to much. The atmosphere out ahead of them has been worked over, and the severe threat from them is going to be minimal. So that's what we like to hear. Now, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning until 2:15 for really the Lytle area, Von Army, San Antonio. The tornado warning, again, is canceled. I'm saying that over and over because I know we got new people chiming in, and they're wondering, wait, is there a tornado warning right now? Questions about Canyon Lake. Man, really strong winds about to hit Canyon Lake with these storms, but again, nothing severe for Canyon Lake, nothing severe for New Braunfels area, Comal County as a whole. No severe thunderstorm warnings, but strong winds is possible with some of these heavy showers that are going to be moving through. And storms, strong storms even, but nothing severe with that. A lot of lightning, a lot of strong winds, really heavy rainfall. So we still got about 10 minutes left on some of these severe storms. Another one that we have, the one that's encompassing a majority of Bexar County, that's until 2:30. And you can see why. The storm's going to take a little bit extra time to get through Bexar County. But right now it's about to really hit us here in the medical center. Man, I can hear the thunder outside every once in a while, but we're in the medical center, and I'm telling you, right off Fredericksburg, and it's about to hit us. We're going to hear it pretty good. I'll check on hail, too. Really not that much of an issue. Hail is really collapsed with this storm. And let's go ahead and take a look at lightning too. A lot less lightning with the storm. That lets us know that it's weakened a lot. And again, that's what we like to see. Kim says, I'm so sleepy. You know, you're about to be in the condition for good sleeping weather. In Natalia, Texas, have ran and lost power. So we have lost power in Natalia, Texas, looks like. Chris says, thank you. Going back to bed. Get a good night's sleep, Chris. John says, just saw a cow flying by my house. John, we don't have any tornadoes out there, so maybe your cow has wings. Give me some good news. Give me some good news. Are the storms slowing down? The answer is yes. Rain just came down in the medical center. Came down hard, rather. Is Atascosa County in the clear? Jenny, I would say not completely, other than the tornado watch, but we're not seeing anything serious down there. So, yeah, you're in the clear, other than the tornado watch until 5 a.m. Right now, I'd say Atascosa County not having really any issues out there. Is it Castroville okay? The answer is yes. You know, you still have the severe thunderstorm that's moving into Bandera County now. To your southwest, you still have a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, and that's going to move into Castroville in the next 15 minutes. And you're going to say, man, are we doing this again? That is not a severe storm. That is south of Hondo. It is going to move through. It's going to put down a lot of rain. It's going to be a lot of lightning, maybe even some pea-sized hail. But that's it. Not expecting anything severe from that storm. That is going to move through Castroville in 15 minutes, though. Let's see here. Kathy says, Andrew, you're a trooper. What time did you come on? You know, I've been on and off probably since about, I think it was about 4 or 5 o'clock. So, not the longest I've had to go live. I've done hurricane coverage when I lived on the coast. So, that kind of preps you for stuff like this. Jenny says, thank you, appreciate you, no problem. Tornado watch at all in Somerset? Yes, the answer is you do have a tornado watch, which means that's until 5 a.m. Conditions are favorable. Not a tornado warning, though. You still see the red box on the map. That's until 2:15, but that actually got canceled a long time ago. We've had a little bit of an issue with our graphics system tonight. There is no more tornado warning. That actually was canceled about 15, 20 minutes ago. Storms are on the downward trend, so we've been talking about it. I'm looking at what the National Weather Service is saying right now, and they say they agree. Storms are on the downward trend, and heavy rain is moving into San Antonio area. And guess what they did? They expired the severe thunderstorm warning. So it looks like we are pretty much in the clear. Let me check one thing. They may have expired just one of the warnings and kept the other warning box, and they did. I was wondering if they did that. So the only warning that we have left in place is the big box that's encompassing a lot of Bandera County there. And I'm willing to bet they end up canceling that one a little bit early too, as long as these storms do continue to weaken like what they currently are. So great news. That's what we want to hear. We want to see that these storms just continue to kind of collapse as they continue to push off towards the east, like what they have been over the last 30 minutes to the last 45 minutes. Gerard says, everyone go home. Nothing to see here. Yeah, still a strong storm out there. So if you still need answers, I'm still going to hang out here. I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm going to stick around here and answer your questions. But things are starting to quiet down. For McQueenie, they could get a pretty good storm through there in the next, I'd say 30 minutes in the next hour in the McQueenie area. But nothing severe right now for the McQueeney area. Anything to be worried about in Von Ormy? The answer is no. A lot of heavy rain, though. Pretty good thunderstorm moving through. Could have some strong winds, could have some pea-sized hail. Other than that, that's about it. It is a severe thunderstorm, but it is not to the intensity to where it is something to be extremely worried about. I wouldn't be driving out in it, but nothing too serious with that part of the storm. What's the red? Yes, that's a good question. That is a tornado warning that was issued earlier on, but is no longer in place. So we've had a little bit of a graphics issue. I've had to mention it a few times tonight, and I'm okay doing that because I want to make sure that y'all understand what's going on. Our warning boxes that have been canceled by the National Weather Service are not leaving our screen until the actual expired time. So that was actually canceled 20 minutes ago, but it's not set when the National Weather Service initially put that out. The expiration time wasn't until 2:15. So in 3 minutes, that's going to disappear. But it is going to stick around on the screen for another 3 minutes, even though there is no tornado warning actually in place in that spot. So the only warning we actually have in place is the severe thunderstorm warning. That is encompassing a majority of Bexar County there. That's the only actual warning that we do have in place. And this storm is, again, moving east at about, I'd say it's slowed down a little bit. Maybe it's moving about 35 miles per hour. Let me take a look at what the latest thing the National Weather Service said. They say it has 60 mile per hour gusts, and they say that it is moving east at 45 miles per hour. So it was moving at 55 miles per hour earlier. They say it was down to 45, maybe even a little bit slower now. It's been slowing down a good amount as it shifts to the east. Oh, Angela, people were talking about F5. There is no F5 tornado. I'm not sure what they were talking about. I think they were just talking about what is one. But no issue. Don't worry. There are no tornadoes out there right now, and we're not talking about, especially not talking about any F5 tornadoes, Angela. So no worries. I just woke up to thunder, people saying. We just got heavy rain here at the medical center. Any estimate on how much rain we're getting? Man, Kim, did we get some rain? And guess what? We got more rain over the next few days to go along with it. Kim, to give you an idea on how much rain we got in San Antonio, the airport, which is our official recording site for the city, picked up 2.5 inches in 3 hours. The average for the month of April, for the whole month, on average, we would pick up 2.10. So we blew it out of the water. And we've gotten even more rain now, and now there's even more rain occurring. And we're going to get more rain over the next few days. So, drought buster. I talked about it on Monday, about how a cutoff low, if that situation did happen for us, that's a drought buster situation. As I knocked my phone off the computer on accident and bring up a whole different look there. It's a drought buster situation. So, I'm really excited. I'm going to send the phone flying. But that's exactly what we needed to see. And we're still going to have some drought. Don't get me wrong. But we're going to talk about big rises in the aquifer over the next few days. Huge growths in the aquifer. We're going to talk about big pushback on the drought by the time the next drought monitor comes out next week. The one that comes out Thursday, this week, tomorrow, it actually won't have the updates from the rain that we're receiving right now. It won't get those updates until next week. Once we look at next week, Drought Monitor is going to see amazing updates. Should Bexar County expect any more tornadoes? I would say no. It's still possible. I would say it's still possible. I'll take that back. It's still possible, but the chances lower compared to what they were at earlier where we had that other storm move through. Here's a look at velocity data. Not seeing any kinks in that line anymore, not seeing any big issues. Things are definitely looking a lot better in that sense. Still a pretty strong storm, definitely something we're dealing with. but a lot of heavy rain moving through to go along with it. Let's take a look at the, trying to find the right tool here. The amount of lightning. Pretty good amount of lightning there in South San Antonio. On the south side, we could be seeing a good amount of lightning, so still pretty strong storm there. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning, of course, is still in place. That tornado warning polygon has finally gone away because we have hit 215. So it's nice to see actual data. That is really the only severe thunderstorm that we have in place right now. That really is the only warning we have in place right now for Bexar County until 2:30. So we were able to get those other boxes off the screen so you can see real-time data. Let's take a little bit look at the hail amounts that we're seeing. Still seeing some down towards Von Army. Moving towards Elmendorf, maybe some pea-sized hail. Nothing too concerning. Pea-sized hail isn't that much of an issue, but something we're going to have to watch a little close. Maybe some pea-sized hail west of Divine. And that's about it. I'm taking a wider look because I want to get a real good view of the area, guys. Not seeing any other issues. Should we expect any more hail in Bexar County? Not damaging hail, Jen, but maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail could be possible. So a wider look at things. We still got some showers trying to develop down towards Zavala County. Again, I don't think they're going to amount to much. There's not as much energy in the atmosphere for them to work with as they continue to shift off to the northeast. Still some really heavy rain in the hill country, though. Man, that's the good stuff. That's the stuff we really need to push back this drought. And let me check with the National Weather Service, see if there's anything new that they've got coming in. Severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled for Atascosa, Bexar, Medina, and Wilson counties. So, with that being said, guys, that severe thunderstorm warning that you're seeing in the middle of your screen is actually over. We have no warnings right now in South Texas. We still have the tornado watch until 5 a.m. But with all that being said, take a nap. I'm talking to y'all. I'm not taking a nap yet. I'm sticking around. I'm watching the storms. I'm going to keep everything updated. If I feel like we need to cut back in to give more updates, I will. And we will continue to keep you updated throughout the night. You'll see another update come across Facebook saying, there's a new live video. I think things are going to really calm down, though, here over the next hour. We've already seen them calm down a lot. The atmosphere has been worked over by the strong storms we've had. It's been a pretty serious event. We've had a ton of rain to go along with some of the hail reports. Some of those yellow spots you're seeing pop up in the hill country, that's 4+ inches of rain that we received. Some of the local storm reports, a lot of hail reports, a little bit of flooding reports to go along with it. It has been a pretty wild event, and we're going to have more on that as we head throughout tomorrow morning. Be sure to tune into KENS 5 tomorrow morning. We're going to talk all about that from 4:30 all the way to 7. If you're like me and you may be sleeping in a little more tomorrow morning, of course, we have the newscast at noon to keep you updated. You can always get these pieces of information on kens5.com. So make sure that you follow us there. Facebook here, of course, we'll have updated stories all throughout tomorrow morning with just different things that have been going on across the region. Hail reports, the reports of tornadoes that we had closer on towards Tehanis, where we had the confirmed tornado, and then also some of the wind damage, and then also some of the flooding that we had to deal with. All that going to be on kens5.com, and make sure you download that KENS 5 app because you can find those same stories there to go along with it. So guys, I'm going to continue to watch things here behind the scenes. Again, I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it one more time before we sign off. Our warnings aren't disappearing when they're supposed to on our screen. That warning that you're seeing on the screen right now actually has been canceled, no longer in place. The storm is now sub-severe, still heavy rain, still a lot of lightning, still some strong winds, but nothing severe to go along, just good sleeping weather. Now make sure that you have your phone turned on for alerts and that make sure you can be woken up in case something severe does occur. And if something severe does occur, check Facebook, check the KENS 5 app, check YouTube, because I'm going to be right here live giving you updates. Have a wonderful evening. We'll continue to stay here and stay on, keeping you updated at KENS 5. Meteorologist Paul Morales is now in house. He's keeping you updated on TV, and I'm staying right here until this system is over, keeping you updated on digital. Stay safe, get a good night's rest tonight, and make sure you have a way to continue to receive alerts as we head throughout this evening.